The growing calls across the nation to defund the police.
To end policing as we know it.
Off the charts violence in New York City. 11 people shot in just 8 hours on
This is
Sunday.
about the police officers who every single day put on that uniform and they run towards danger when we run away from it.
Guns up and giddy up. Welcome to the. Well, that's wrong. I did it wrong. Failure to Stop show. I don't know what I was going to say. I was going to say, welcome to the Law Enforcement Meets Culture show. It's Failure to Stop where law enforcement meets culture. And if you, wherever you're at, be careful, put the booze away. We're going to play a drinking game. Every time Eric mentions the band Breaking Benjamin today, take a shot and you might die. Yep. So be careful. Mm-hmm. That's the game. You may die. So
he's got a hard on
week of my life.
That is intense. Mike needs more coffee. Yes, I do.
It's the best week of my life. It beats any of my childbirths or weddings.
Wow,
that's intense.
Or funerals.
The funerals I can get behind. Yeah, that's good, man. We'll catch up on that for a second. But guys, if you want to know what you've stepped into, again, this is the Failure to Stop podcast. This is the Friday show. It's a flagship show. We break down a case. Today we are going to break down a case out of where? Is it Ohio?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
O-H.
Yeah, that's really gay. Ohio is the armpit of the United States, and I just don't care about it. Get bent, Ohio.
Well, when we went to tailgate in Ohio, I just thought that was really funny. I'd never heard that before, but everybody was like, O-H. And then somebody was like, O. And I was like, dude, what if we did that like in every other state? What if you were like F-L-O? And someone was like, R-I-D-A. Yeah.
Spell your state.
We could spell
yours would be terrible. N-O-R-A. R-T.
You just spelled Flow Rida.
H.
That's what he just did.
Flow Rida. All right.
They try to do your town, and it's like S-H-I-T, and you're like H-O-L-E. Michigan.
Exactly. What's the case that we're breaking down today?
Donovan Lewis.
So if you saw that controversial stuff, then hey, tune in. We're going to talk about it.
If you had any questions if vaping can kill you, we have that answer today.
Popcorn lung, baby. And we have more shows than just this one. We have Monday is Off the Cuff. And if you haven't been keeping up with the wooden dildo drama of 2022, it has been insane. Our lawyers are scrambling to try to save the show after all of our slander and defamation of a poor Etsy shop that makes soap. And we destroyed their business with a joke. And so we are knee deep in the legal problems that I created over this, or Dave created. Anyway, we talk about law enforcement related news.
That'd be awesome if they made a soap that was called like knee deep soap, and it's just like this big giant soap fist. No,
balls deep soap.
Balls deep soap.
Drop it. That's the motto. Drop it.
drop the soap.
So that's what we do on. You hear that on Mondays. Tuesday nights is not last call. Man, I am all discombobulated today. It is night shift. It is true crime. It is Eric. It is Andrea. And they cover disgusting, gory, true crimey, kidnappy stuff, murdery stuff. And so if you're into that, that's Tuesday nights. And then Thursday's last call with Eric and guests. And they talk about all the pop culture stuff and interesting stuff in life that keeps you from talking about dead babies and domestics. So we got 4 shows a week, guys. If you want to support us, if you're completely broke, the best way you can do it is just share the show, man. Tell people about the show, share it up on social media, tag us in stuff that you post, whatever, and just do a rating and review wherever you listen to the show. That stuff helps. It really does. We appreciate it. If you got a little bit of cash and you want to be a member, you can do that on YouTube. It gives you access to the live streams when we're recording all the shows. Discord, a discount on the shop. You can go to failuretostop.com and grab merch. We have some of the Giddy Up boxes available, t-shirts, whatever. Those are all the ways that you can support the show. We appreciate it. And if you're in the market to support any of our sponsors, of course, supporting the sponsor. So that's all the housekeeping stuff that I've got. Do we have reviews or anything? Oh, cool. All right, let's see them. Eric, have at it.
Scott Rampage.
That's
great
intense.
show. Always looking forward to their episodes. They are so entertaining.
Come on, Scott. Dude. Like, I kind of wish you didn't even leave that.
These are the most bland reviews we've had in a long
What's
time.
going on around here? Wolfpack, come on,
you guys haven't been
dude.
stressing it. You guys don't really talk about it anymore.
We have so many reviews.
We read and
We
laugh at
just
reviews
got
every
complacent.
Friday. Like, they should know. Make it
You
entertaining.
don't ask them to make new ones.
Come on, guys. Make new ones.
Yeah.
Make new ones. Make better
Yeah.
ones.
Make me
This is
laugh.
boring. Your name is Rampage. You gotta come. You gotta come hard. At
Yeah.
the reviews. You gotta rampage. You gotta tear it up.
You gotta ram it. Team Rampage.
What's the next one? TRG Lover. 5 stars. Great show. They even made the Flat Earth episode entertaining. What's crazy is we've had like 2 Flat Earth episodes. I think we've had like 2.
They are fun though.
Given it's a lot of time to an imaginary theory. It's pretty crazy.
It's a lot of fun though. Those people are very religious. And they're
Yeah,
believers.
no kidding. Well, guys, if that doesn't convince you that we need some awesome reviews to read, I don't know what will. We want to give the Wolfpack its due, guys. Like, so you want to be entertained by reviews? Well, then get to writing.
But we've gotten some really good mail call lately. And I lost the note. This one guy, Zane, sent I lost it.
Zane,
Sent
what
us
a
a
cool
letter.
name.
It is a cool name, but he sent us a letter from Coast Guard Boot Camp. That was cool. And then Gunfighter.
Hello, Eric. Greetings from camp.
Dear
Coast Guard Boot
Eric,
Camp.
Coast Guard Boot Camp is so hard. I'm so lost without my family.
Today they threatened me with push-ups.
Did they do push-ups in Coast Guard? Boot
I don't
Camp?
think so.
Today they threatened me with jump roping. But Gunfighter Candles sent some Gunfighter Candles. I got to give you yours, Mike. They sent them all here to the studio, but really cool. The company starts on September 30th. So
Well, it looks
This
like they
one's
already
called-
started.
this one's called SWAT Gunfighter Candle.
What's the smell? What's it smell like?
Um,
COVID took my smell away, and nothing smells normal to me. So.
it smells just like a SWAT bus. So manscaped balls, sweaty manscaped balls that have too much Axe body spray applied to them,
nice.
which is a very good combination because where Axe is too overpowering, the sweaty balls of a SWAT van
Balances it out.
combine it, balances it, makes it a very complex and
elegant.
balanced smell. It smells just
This
like a
is
SWAT.
tactically
SWAT bus.
elegant.
It is. It's tactically nice. I would definitely want to light this candle while I'm packing ammo.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I like it. Thanks, Gunfighter Candles.
Thanks, Gunfighter Candles.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Hey, there is a cool video. This is not the breakdown, but this is just too freaking awesome. You guys know I love it when bad guys die.
Mhm.
Like, it's my thing.
Mhm.
It's a great way to start that off. I support it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anytime
So,
a bad
like,
guy dies, I support it.
I'm not upset about this at all. All right. Now, all that said, most cops never take the life of anybody. That's just statistically the reality. It's a very minute thing comparatively across the spectrum. But this is awesome. And I don't think people appreciate what happened here. This is a 41-second clip. I'll give you a little bit of background before you watch it. This officer in Tacoma, Washington that you're going to see, and if you haven't seen it, you're in for a treat. If you have, then hey, you can watch it 100 times and it's still awesome. Basically, there's a domestic situation that unfolds. Cops are called. They meet the victim down the street. So she has extricated herself from the situation. She's talking to the cops. It turns out that some neighbors have some cameras on their house that captured the assault. Dude assaults chick. This guy has several guns in the home, which I support as an American. That I don't care about. He's got them. So the officers are trying to make contact with him. They start saying, hey, come over here. He instead runs into the house, gets guns, comes back out, and he starts basically plinking at the cops. He's trying to kill them. Okay. He's moving around. At one point, he tries to carjack a neighbor. He ends up getting in a car, driving around. He ends up in a spot at his car, and he starts shooting at this officer that is responding. Officer Mann, I believe, is his name.
Yeah, hell yeah, it is.
I think. If we can confirm that
I
or
don't
deny it, MANN, I think. Could be wrong. Officer Mann is the man, I think. Whatever, maybe, whatever. Anyway, let's watch this video and just see how this warrior gets it done.
Incoming to watch Madison.
He puts his coffee on the dash. Just chill, calm, cool, collect. He's shooting him. He's walking. Calmly opens the trunk. Grabs his gat. Charges it. Calmly walks to the side of his car with no rush.
Using the car as cover.
All right, he reloaded.
Takes it off his safe.
Reloaded. Are those shots coming from the outside?
And he takes a shot. While somebody else is asking questions, he pulls the shit.
No.
X-ray 316. Shot fired. Suspects down.
My man, dude. Guys, that
man.
was 183-yard single deer shot. Like, this is like, puts him down, bro. 180. I don't think that people appreciate how far 183 yards is. Cops don't even like, I don't know what they do in Tacoma where this happened. No, even the outdoor ranges that I went to, we didn't even have enough space at our outdoor range to be 183 yards away from a target. Like, I think 100, 125 was the furthest I ever even trained with my rifle at all.
In the military, you go out to 300.
Well,
You have to qualify at 300.
good for the military. But I mean, I don't know what this dude is, but that's a long shot. And my man it's like his blood pressure, his heart rate was not up, dude.
He's
just like, sips his coffee. Like,
it's like the
you know what?
same
He's like,
cadence of getting up in the middle of the night to go pee.
yeah, I'm like, I'm so sick of these dudes. They're all blaring on the radio. It's coffee time. They're talking about shots fired. Listen, he pulls up, sets the coffee down, like chink, chink, charges the rifle. Up it goes. Boom. Hey, radio. Shot fired. Suspect down.
Dude, like, that would be the best Starbucks commercial ever. Because
Yeah,
that's
Starbucks is probably going to be like banning all. If that was, it looked like Starbucks, but I could be wrong. Like, I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure
And it's in
was
Tacoma,
Starbucks.
Washington. There's going to be a lot of coffee shops, but Starbucks is still.
That looks like a Starbucks.
Dude,
It's like,
I'm like,
good way to start your morning.
wow.
You know what?
I mean, what a warrior. I don't know if this guy trains, but he indicates everything about that situation for that cop indicates he trains for that situation. He trains to be calm. He trains to have his wits about him and handle his business. Freaking rock star.
Yeah, mental powerhouse there. Like, he thought about that whole drive in. He was like, you know what? I'm putting an end to this. This is ridiculous. This guy's running around. He's plinking at the cops.
Sick of this guy terrorizing the neighborhood.
I'm going to put an end to this real quick. As soon as I get there, I haven't even finished my PSL yet. Haven't even finished my pumpkin spice latte. I'm going to put an end to this guy. You know what, Mike? That gets me really hard. And if it doesn't get you hard, you know what will? Blue Chew. Guys, it's time to bring that summer heat into fall and bring it into the bedroom. The temperature is dropping, but that doesn't mean the temperature in the bedroom needs
Doesn't
to
mean
drop.
your wiener has to.
Doesn't mean your wiener has to. That's right. This episode is sponsored by Blue Chew.
Go from flaccid to fierce.
Guys can't go from flaccid to hard as that dude in that video. Guys, confidence can take you far in life. It can also help you in the bedroom, especially when it comes time to step up to the plate. I'll guarantee you, Officer Mann is going to have no problem stepping up to the plate when he gets home. A matter of fact, I'm sure after he took that shot, he probably got on the radio and was like, we got one suspect down. He then switched over to a tech channel and he was like, whatever town that was in. He was like, at Columbus, go ahead and get my attorney and my travel agent online and tell my wife to warm up the sheets, warm up the ghost bed. I'm coming home. We're going on vacation, baby. Daddy did it.
Paid vacation.
Daddy got his stateside. Blue Chew is a unique online service that delivers the same active ingredient as Viagra and Cialis, but in chewable tablets and at a fraction of the cost. You can take them anytime, day or night, so you can plan ahead. or be ready whenever the opportunity arises. This process is simple. Sign up at BlueChew.com, consult with one of their licensed medical providers, and once you're approved, you'll receive your prescription within days. The best part, it's all done online. So there's no visit to a doctor's office, no awkward conversations, and no waiting in line at the pharmacy. Blue Chew tablets are made in the good old USA. USA.
I give Blue Chew to my dog and then invite strangers over.
Actually, a part of our endorsement is that we cannot share Blue Chew with anybody else illegally.
It's a dog, though. They don't count. I don't give them to people.
He's not a real person.
I just split them up. Half for me, half for Luther. And things get crazy when
But right now, guys, we've got a special
one
deal
Blue
for
Chew,
just our listeners.
1 jar of peanut butter, a man and his dog.
Try Blue Chew for free when you use our promo code.
Eric tries to get sponsors for the show. I try to get rid of them. I don't know why I do that.
I don't know why you do that.
Why are you the way that you are?
Why are you the way that you're like the guy that just like can't handle a girlfriend? Like everything in the date's going right, and then you just like rip one. Like, man, this date. No, it's like Ricky Bobby's
Chew,
daddy
Mike.
in Talladega Nights.
Pleased to meet
like,
me.
Everything is going great at Applebee's, but you're like, this steak is I'll order it with the onion. She's like, no, sir, you said no onions. He was like, God. But anyway, our special deal, go to bluechew.com, use the promo code Wolfpack. You'll get a free month to try it out. All you gotta do is pay that $5 shipping. Bluechew.com, use that promo code Wolfpack, and you can be as hard as Officer Man. You can live vicariously through him.
Good luck.
Just as hard.
Dude. Anyway, that way, not breaking that down, blah, blah, blah. Just awesome. Just freaking awesome.
Such a great video.
Yeah.
I've got a war boner. I got a gunfighter boner with my gunfighter candle and a gunfighter video in the middle of a hurricane. Ian's making me wet.
Yeah, man. I guess we'd be remiss. Drew Breezy did a little update on how his homestead is. It's crazy the difference that an hour, makes in terms of a storm like that. And so I know people whose families have literally had their homes and businesses completely wiped off the face of the planet. And it sucks, man. It's tough. It's tough for people to experience that. I've never had my home wiped out, so I don't pretend to know what that's like. But I sent it in my family chat. I sent pictures of like what I was getting sent. I'm like, man, we do need to be grateful that we have intact homes, So God bless all of the first responders that are wading through water and dealing with. And if you are one of the people who could have left and your ass is getting rescued, hey, fuck you.
I don't know if you saw Last Call yesterday or listened to it yet, but I will say one thing that happened before this. This is how bad this storm is. There were catfish that got out of the waterways and were running through people's yards on their pectoral fence.
Nice.
There's a TikTok video. We did a whole thing on it on Last Call. Catfish were running, not like catfish, like transvestites on Grinder. I'm talking like a real actual catfish running on pectoral fence. Could you imagine? Like, even they were like, no, this storm's coming. We're out.
Yeah.
We'll just hold our breath and run.
It's time to get.
Hold our breath and run.
Guns up.
Anyway, we do we obviously support the work of the first responders that are probably working day and night. Saw some great encouraging stuff, like all of the linemen that left other states and came down, and they were like prepared. They obviously knew like things were going to get crazy, and they're working their asses off. And I don't have a clip of the video or whatever, but Jordan Peterson in several spots has talked about like just how the dudes that are going down into the manholes and dealing with all of the infrastructure that makes us have comfortable lives. Those dudes are freaking rock stars, man. They work themselves to the bone. And we just don't emphasize sort of like that trade and the manual labor anymore, like that built this country. And it still goes on. We just like almost are completely ignorant that it does. And I want to give those guys their due. And for those, there's got to be people that just don't have anybody and they don't know what to do, where to go, how to do it. And for those people, I do feel sorry that you're stuck there and they need to be rescued and they might lose their lives. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of people who are just flat out morons that stayed and they're screwed. And now first responders are having to deal with them. And it takes away resources to help people in genuine need because you're an idiot and we're told to leave and save yourselves, and you didn't. But anyway, I could bitch all day. But anyway,
I mean, you gotta go when you gotta go. But I also blame the media on this because like every time a storm comes to Florida, they overreact and they overhype things up, and it's like people just don't take it seriously anymore.
Yeah, a little cry wolf.
When you've got your news reporter standing in a ditch and it's like waist high water, and they're like, the water is rising, and then all of a sudden a dude walks behind them and there's like no water. And then you're like, wait, what the fuck? And then like that person, it's
they
like,
stand there with helmets on and acting like they're having to force themselves into the wind. And it's like, come on, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's like,
don't overreact. Don't sell it, just report it. Stop selling it.
That's what we say. Anytime that there's theatrics or dramatization in the news, they're lying. So, which is actually kind of what we're going to talk about today too. Like the media, again, I mean, at this point, it's like not even worth talking about. It's like we don't even need to go there because it's literally every single case. The media just does what the media does, and makes things worse. They add fuel to the fire. They make things appear to be what they're not. They try to make perception a reality, and again, that's why people don't take hurricanes like this seriously, and they don't leave because they literally cry wolf at every turn, at every angle, and they're always wrong. So,
yeah.
As always, the media sucks.
All right. What do you got for us? What happened to old, what's this guy's name that we're breaking down?
Donovan Lewis, baby. Donovan Lewis.
Tell me about Donovan Lewis.
Say his name, Mike. Say his name, brother.
I'm getting a airbrush t-shirt right now. Should be done by the time the show's over.
Oh, gosh.
I don't even know what happened. Were the cops wrong? Maybe they were. I don't know. I don't know anything about this situation.
I mean, this one's definitely up for debate on what they did wrong. So we'll go over that. I'm not going to say these cops were like stellar in any way, shape, or form.
Nike wants to know, aren't I the media now? I don't think so.
The problem I have with breaking down these videos is like I could easily be these cops because a lot of the times this was my. Now I'm saying it's right. But a lot of times this kind of was my attitude going into a warrant service of this nature. But this took place this August 2022. So it's very fresh. It's very recent. And it's, obviously it's a tragedy. But could it have been prevented? Well, let's talk about it. First of all, I want to get into the police response to this real quick. So if we want to roll some of that beautiful bean footage, and really what we're going to talk about is the attitude of the police officers, because that is what the media has. Go ahead, stop it really fast. The media, and if you go and look at all the comments on YouTube, if Law and Crime, if you go and you look at all the comments, dude, it's like 99.999% going to be against the cops. I get it. But what they're hitting on are points that really don't matter because there isn't like a protocol of how you act before something like this, and everybody acts different. I don't know why we're judging these cops, but you'll see a lot of comments that like totally the attorney for Donovan Lewis's family, it was like, it's what we saw in the 14 minutes leading up to the shooting that really has us concerned. It was grossly negligent. It was grossly unprofessional. I'm sorry. Being unprofessional is not negligence, and being unprofessional doesn't make you a murderer, homicide, or even a bad cop. This is one of the issues that I have with body camera. I do like that it gives you the totality of the circumstances. However, it's covering these guys behind closed doors, so to speak. Like they still feel in their brain they have an expectation of privacy. It's just like how you would act in the backyard with your friends. If your neighbors were to hear your conversations with your friends at the backyard pool party, they might think you're unprofessional. They might think that you're a piece of shit.
And the idea that you have to sort of completely not be yourself, right? Like you have to divorce yourself from your own personality and be somebody else, I guess, like, or be so robotic. You know, everybody wants, when they get pulled over, they want a cop to treat them like a human, right? You get pulled over speeding because you just got news that your grandma was rushed to the hospital, whatever. And so, yeah, you're going a little fast. You're trying to get there. And you get pulled over and the cop's like, hey, you know, you're going like 17 miles an hour. I know I just got bad news that my grandma is in the hospital. And maybe you're really close with your grandma and you're trying to explain this to the cop. What you want? You don't want a guy that's a robot. Don't care, ma'am. Don't care, ma'am. The speed limit is a speed limit, regardless of what's going on, ma'am. And then you just get, stroke your ticket and you'll be like, man, why can't that cop be a little bit more empathetic about what it is that's really going on with me? I'm not, maybe you're not trying to make an excuse. Maybe you're just explaining why you were going fast and like, yeah, I know I got to own it. And there's a human exchange that you desire when you're in those shoes. But then so many people who, when they are in the wrong, want cops to treat them with the highest possible level of humanity and dignity and respect, then want none of that humanity to be present in major situations. They want them to be completely robotic. They want them to like go from step 1 to 2 to 3 in some perfect order that exists in a book and behave and speak in a way that divorces them from the very humanity that they demand for themselves. And what that does is it creates ridiculously unrealistic expectations on the side of people who are observers of the police. And it creates a tremendous amount of unrealistic expectations of the police. And when you are the police, it creates a tremendous amount of stress for that cop to live this day in and day out, where like every moment that you're working, 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, 18 hours, whatever it is, every moment is being captured. And you're expected to just basically not be a person. When that happens, what do you expect as the end result of doing that to people? It's like ridiculous.
When the cops have no more humanity, that's when you have a real problem. So in this video, we're going to go ahead and go through it because that has been the topic of discussion for the entire
full disclosure,
debate.
I haven't seen a moment of this. I haven't seen
the entire debate. The entire debate about this video is the banter and talking leading up to it. And none of it to me seems very unprofessional. And I think this is just a stretch, but the media has doubled down on it, and they have literally at every angle tried to bring up the unprofessionalism that comes before this video to make everybody think that these cops are unprofessional. I don't see it. I don't get it. And again, like I said, we'll talk about how this could have been prevented at the end, and we're going to talk about the final outcome at the end. But for today's breakdown, obviously, the one thing that everybody needs to understand in this breakdown is, as Mike said, cops are human beings, dude. And this is them being human beings. And let's just play the tape. I don't need to go on and on about it. Go ahead there.
Second floor.
Yep. Second floor?
Yeah, it's right at the step.
But there's no car here today.
What are they showing up for? Do we know?
Okay. Yeah, if you want to know, they are serving an arrest warrant for a domestic abuse. Go ahead and pause it really fast. I do think that is an important question, Mike, because it does set the totality of this thing. So reportedly, the police responded to a domestic violence scene, and the pregnant girlfriend who was pregnant with Donovan's baby, ran to a Kentucky Fried Chicken and called police and said that that Donovan hit her and then pushed her out of a chair and down a hill. And she was very pregnant. So she was worried about the baby. The police documented that she had a black eye. And she says that days prior, Donovan punched her repeatedly in the face. And that's why she had one black eye and a swollen cheek. But she didn't report that. The reason why she was reporting this one was because she rolled over on her baby rolling down a hill, and it scared her.
So this wasn't
So
an arrest warrant. This was
this-
just going to arrest him on probable cause.
No, they actually went and got an arrest warrant for him, and they did have an arrest warrant for him because they've been trying to find him. They hadn't been able to. They weren't able to get him earlier in the day.
I got you.
Because obviously, you have to jump on the Facebooks and the Twitters and see where he's laying his head. Jump up on the Snapchats and see what he's posting and where he's posting it. But in April 2021, almost a year prior to this, he had a complaint filed against him by his mother, where he punched his mother in the face repeatedly after she refused to open the door because he was stealing stuff from her home. So she said, "You're not allowed to come back here." He kicked the door open, breaking it from its hinges, and punched mom repeatedly. He pled guilty to that, he didn't plead guilty to it. He hadn't gone to trial yet. But when the police caught up to him, he admitted to striking her with a closed fist, and they placed him under arrest for assault. And then another one in June 2020, he had another complaint, and a year before that, of another woman that he hit with a closed fist. And then in those charges, he also had a charge for improperly handling a firearm in a vehicle. So I'm guessing the warrant that he had this night was for all these because he didn't go to court for any of it. And then punches his other girl. So that night he had a warrant for felony charge of improperly handing a firearm in a vehicle, which I'm guessing is a drive-by shooting that didn't hit anybody and there was no victims because nobody reported it. Right? Is that?
Man, that sounds like Ohio is they're not smart
let
people.
everybody
So I
go.
just don't know how they name their laws, man. I don't know. Who knows what that is?
Casey jumps out. Yeah.
Casey
I'll go
jumps
back.
out. Nice.
I'll go. And the thunder rolls.
So the cop is singing "When the Thunder Rolls,"
Garth Brooks, man.
I don't know.
and they're
When the
walking
lightning
calmly.
strikes.
They're like, "Okay, girlfriend's car's here."
There's only one window.
They see that there's a window. They check the car. There's nobody in the car. And they're going to notice that the apartment has a window and it's on the second floor.
Bunch of baby stuff.
Bunch of baby stuff. They're casually walking. Like nobody's in like tactical gear or anything. Nobody's like amped up. They got word that homeboy with all these warrants is in this apartment.
There's no window.
Okay, pause
You
it
don't have
for
the
just a
radio
second.
battery.
This is how serious these guys aren't taking this, and this is where I will critique them. This asshole's battery on his radio is going dead, and that's why it's chirping every 2 seconds. I'll tell you what, as a cop in Raleigh, if this were you, you would turn that thing down so far, because if anybody heard that, they would be shitting on you. They'd be like, "Dude, go change your fucking radio battery. Did you not charge your battery before work? Why is your battery dying?" It would be and where I worked, it would have been a thing. It would have been a training moment.
You don't want your battery chirping in moments where you don't want people knowing exactly where you're at.
And whenever your battery chirps, which it goes, and then it's just going to wait a few minutes and it's going to, but like about a second before it does that and a second after, you get a tone on your mic so it won't key out. So it's like a boop, boop. It will not key to dispatch. So that gives you like a 3-second window every like 2 minutes or every minute that you can't use your radio. And that's not good.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And it's going to die and you'll have no radio. So fix your radio, homeboy. I'm not happy with you about that. Put it on a Z-Val.
Oh, you suck.
And the other cop's telling him he sucks because his battery's dying. So I'll give you that's a little unprofessional, but not that you suck. It's
I told you.
not having a battery.
I said Donovan.
Now they're trying to explain who
There's a
has the
tiny
warrant.
one.
They're going to walk up to the front door.
See anything through the window?
They can't see anything through the window. Okay, pause it. Now, a lot of the point of contention in this video is that he was not transparent that he was the police. And why do the police have to use trickery to find somebody? And why did he have to knock like... And that's because if you knock like a cop, police, nobody's answering that door. And yes, you're right. You don't have a search warrant. You cannot kick that door in at this moment. And everybody in the chats were like, these cops need to know the law. Obviously, they do know the law. That's why they're not knocking like an asshole cop. Because if they didn't know the law, they would be like, "Raleigh police, open up." And the people on the other side would be like, "Let me see your warrant, bitch." And they'd be like, "Oh, damn, we ain't got a warrant." So, but they would be able to get a warrant. No sweat. If they can articulate that that dude is in there, or they can lock that house down for days. It doesn't matter. They're going to get that arrest warrant and they're going to serve it. Now, as a good street cop, you do not want to go call in SWAT on their day off to come and surround the house. You don't want to tie up the entire city of Ohio to come watch this house.
City of Ohio.
It's one big shithole city. I'm just kidding. This is in Columbus. So you don't want to tie everybody up in the city dealing with this. I mean, it's not a bullshit warrant either. I mean, this is a firearm by felon warrant. This is a domestic violence warrant. And let's think about the victim here. This is a victim in the hood in Gangster's Paradise, rest in peace, Coolio, that went to the police and essentially snitched on her baby daddy for punching her in the face and then pushing her pregnant ass on the ground. So like, let's not forget about her. Like, this dude hit his pregnant girlfriend and threw her to the ground and made her ass roll down a hill pregnant. And she was so scared by that. She wasn't scared about getting decked in the face 3 days prior. She was scared that her baby was in danger. So now these cops have that lingering in their brain. They're like, dude, this guy's a real asshole. This guy's a real bully. So when we go over there, we don't want to lock this down. We don't want to cause a lot of drama. So let's go ahead and try it. My go-to back in the day used to be a Avon calling, like from Edward Scissorhands. And people would be like, what? Now I know they're in there. And I'd be like, yo, it's the police. Open the door. But if you knock like this, they're just not going to talk. And if they don't talk, then you can't prove that they're in there. And if you can't prove that they're in there, you can't go get a search warrant. So I have no problem with the unprofessional, stereotypical knock. It's fine. Go for it. Shoot your shot, homie.
Drew said he called a dude on his phone and told him to get out because the cops were coming. He ran right into our waiting arms.
Oh, that is brilliant.
So funny. I had a dude with a warrant one time. For those that don't know, my first cop job out of the academy was a public safety department. So it was like police and fire. I've talked about that before, that we have those in Michigan. So we would take the fire truck out and we have our uniforms on underneath, and then just would go to felony warrant places and scoop up people by knocking and saying there's a gas leak and we have to check the whole home and everybody's got to go get out. And then, oh, hey, there he is. It's like, turn around, put your hands behind your back. What? You're the fire. Yeah. We're also cops. So.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can get the fire department to go like into an apartment complex and go to like the apartment down and turn on all their lights and sirens and act like they're doing the things. And then just wait for everybody to come out of their apartments to see what's going on.
Yeah.
Then you can snatch them up that way. I mean, cops do use a little trickery. There's nothing that says you can't use trickery to catch a bad guy. And where are we at in this time that we're rooting for this asshole that pushed his pregnant girlfriend down on the ground after punching her in the face a couple of times? And he punched his own fucking mother. I don't have a problem with whatever trickery these cops want to use within the confines of the law. I love playing in the gray area. I don't even think this is the gray area, though. There is nothing that says you have to knock like a cop. Nothing. Yeah, there's no policy that says when you knock, you will knock 3 hard knocks and you will identify yourself. There's going to be one after this video. In Columbus, Ohio, there'll be a policy, no doubt. We can go ahead and play it. Again, all the cops are calm, cool. They don't give a fuck. They're chatting. They're talking. One dude's just leaning up against the wall, which I'm not.
On the wrong door.
No, which I'm not overtly cool with.
That one first.
Oh. And his battery's still dying. His body camera's looking at a door.
No, his back was there. I think that was a bad tactic.
There's a window there, Mike. There's a window.
Oh, okay.
There's a window. It's like it's not even really like an apartment. It's like a hotel. You know what I mean? It's an apartment, but it used to be a hotel. It looks like. But yeah, no. Again, not a good tactic. And so now they're whispering. They're like, he's like, I hear somebody inside.
They're inside.
He says, I know they're inside. And now they're going to use a little bit more trickery here in just a second.
Yo,
now
D.
he's doing, Yo, D, he says. Yo, D.
Hey, yo, D.
I like that they assume that Donovan just goes by D. Oh. The comments at this point on the YouTube videos are hilarious.
There it is, that chirp.
I would take that radio off of him and I would throw it off that balcony and tell him to get off of my warrant and go find a fucking battery. And it'd be a learning moment for him because he'd be embarrassed in front of everybody. And he'd have a broken microphone. And if he snitched on me to Sarge, I'd beat his ass.
Tough Tansy.
I don't tolerate that shit. Although I was the king of having a dead radio.
Come to the door.
I don't get this Department H.
It's Columbus Police.
I thought Columbus had white shirts.
Police Department, come to the door.
So now he's announcing himself just
Department
fine.
H.
Oh, he's saying Apartment H. Come to the door.
Come to the door.
Apartment H. Apartment H.
He's giving loud verbal commands. He's announcing himself, that's for sure. I wouldn't be sticking my face against the
So
window.
this
bro. I
guy
wouldn't.
sticks his fucking face
No.
up to the window, which is dumb as hell. Their guns are behind them, which, go ahead and pause it really quick. Guys, there is a difference in not giving a shit and then not giving a fuck. This is an example of absolutely not giving a fuck. And that is not a good way to be a policeman, because not giving a fuck is going to get you really hurt really quick. And your mindset is already behind the curve. Like, at least give a little, just at least give a fuck. You don't have to give a shit, but at least give a fuck. At least put your gun in front of your body so that when shit does go south, all you have to do is punch out and get to work. Like, this guy's gun is literally behind his asshole, and his face, he's bent over at the waist with locked knees. So he's not even like squatting tactically, and his face is against the window. Absolutely dumb. Looks unprofessional again, but unprofessional is not against the law. That doesn't mean anything. He can do whatever he wants. It's just bad tactics. And I mean, I guess we could say maybe we're all guilty of that. I don't think I've ever been guilty of that. I've been guilty of like cracking jokes, making fart sounds, or doing something silly. But like my gun, my arms, my hands, my posture, my stance has always been ready to fuck somebody up. Does that make sense?
Yeah, this is a really the door that this situation is really, really dangerous. Like
Very
as
dangerous.
like
Take
this
it seriously.
You know, traffic stops have been established as the most dangerous activity that cops do for a variety of reasons. Probably next to that is definitely like making contact and entering at a door point. And they call it the fatal funnel for a reason. Because the person on the other side has just about every tactical advantage that they can, being on the other side of the door like they are. So
Right.
this is something that you should, even when it's like a low level, like knock and talk or warrant service, that kind of a thing. Like this is, you need to tighten up, you know, when it comes to this. I don't have any problem with smoking and joking, even into that moment, right? Like walking up the stairs, talking around, you're paying attention, you're looking second floor. And I appreciate what they're doing. They're checking the car out. They're checking the whole exterior. What are the exit points? What are we dealing with here? And they're kind of talking that through. And I respect that. And smoking and joking to each other,
no problem.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. But like you get to the knocking part, it's like, all right, let's lock in here, boys. Like we're in it now.
Yeah, and I feel like if you're, and I think one of the guys here is a 30-year veteran cop, and it's a senior cop like that, but you know, it's those older cops too that can also kind of like perpetuate that complacency. But like there needs to be a senior officer, there needs to be a cop that says, "Hey guys, hey,
yeah,
all right, got felony warrants with a firearm. Get your face raised from the fucking door, you knucklehead. Go get a fresh battery, or you're not serving this warrant with us." Like nobody gives a fuck. And that's where we're at in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Because everybody's quitting Columbus, Ohio. Someone put in the chat that they lost 100 officers. I mean,
yeah.
But in this case, you do need to give a fuck, because you could have just had your ear hole turn into a, you know, culvert.
Yeah, man. Yeah, no, someone needs to be the person in that group of guys that says, all right, boys, like we're here now. Like, Now the joking, all that stuff is like, okay, that's over. We're here to work now.
Right. And nobody's
like,
answering the door, and we hear somebody inside. So like now things are kind of escalated at this point. But these cops, again, you can't blame them for escalating, because these guys are definitely not escalating anything. These dudes are as cool and calm and collected as a cucumber. Mur50 says he's going to get his ear hole turned into a fuck tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And so they're apartment H, open the door. Now they're going to get somebody to the door.
I can hear you inside. Come to the door. Hurry up.
I can hear you.
Why are they so spread out, I wonder?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, why did that guy just back off that window altogether?
Tell Dorsey to turn her car off because I can't hear.
He can't hear because a car is left on, one of the patrol cars they left it on, and the engine is...
I hear it.
Is revving up because of the air conditioner kicking on, the air conditioning fan kicking on.
We kill the engine on that cruiser.
Kill the engine on that cruiser.
Kill the engine. Turn the car off.
So other cops telling the other cop to turn his car off. Meanwhile, the dude that's
come to the door.
The dude that's knocking on the door is radio is chirping, and it's making me extremely angry. Like, my anxiety is up in the air right now because of the radio, nothing else. Now the cop leaves his post. The cop that's watching the window leaves his post to yell over the balcony about the car. Fuck the car, dude. Like, your job is to watch that window. Watch the window. Like, you're basically saying we are not getting in a gunfight tonight. And that's the kind of shit that gets you in trouble, man. So if you're listening, homie,
come to the door.
Don't do that. But I've done it before too, so I get it. But oh God, fucking throw that radio off of the balcony. Now he's sticking his face up to the door. He put his face up to the door. Now look, this pause.
He can't be walking back and forth in front of a window.
Pause this really quick. I don't give a shit about this shooting at all. I could care less. I don't think these cops did anything wrong here. There's nothing like there's nothing morally, ethically wrong with anything that the cops are doing right now. I don't care about their banter. I don't care about their unprofessional attitude of knocking on the door. None of that matters. I give two shits about that. But what I do care about, and it's because I genuinely care about police officers and human beings, dude, do not stick your face up to the door. And the fact that like 4 cops allowed that dude to stick his face
I would have
window once.
I definitely pushed cops out of the way.
Oh God.
Especially like my trainees at apartment buildings and stuff like that. If they were like trying to do that, they would have got a boot.
Dude,
a shove. Like, get out of don't stand in front of the door. Like, this is like that's
Day 101 rookie stuff, dude.
Do not stand in front of a door.
See, I don't know what kind of
stand in a doorway once it's open. If you're gonna go in all the way in. Get in
all the way. Go. I don't know like how your department acted or reacted, but like my department was very. I love how like people are like, oh, cops always got their professional courtesy and da-da. Dude, my experience, cops will shit on you way harder than any other human being will shit on you in your entire life. Like, it outdoes the military 1,000-fold. If this would have happened, and I would have stuck my face up that door, literally, another one of the cops would have said, "Hey, Tansy, go to the car," and you'd be like, "Why? What? Go to the car." Go to the fucking car. And you would have walked with your head down in shame. You would have been butthurt. And then after they served the warrant, after they did everything, they would say, meet us back at the station. And you'd get back to the station and you'd sit down and they'd be like, dude, are you fucking serious? What planet are you on that you think it's okay to 1, have a dead battery, and 2, to stick your face up to a door with a known suspect inside? You can either fix it now, or we'll make sure that you go to remedial training and we'll send you to the college campus and you can go police over there. If you want to police like a security guard, we'll go send you to security guard land. If you want to be a real cop and do real cop shit, you tighten it up. But that's the kind of department I came from. You couldn't do that and get away with it.
Yeah.
You get shamed.
I don't know. Like, I mean, we're obviously being kind of hard on these guys, but it's brotherly love. It's not like
brotherly love.
I'm not trying to just,
they're not bad people,
just totally shit on these dudes or anything like that. But I'm just looking at this like, how would I have talked to my rookie through this? You know, like, as a training officer, what would I be debriefing with them on if we were watching body cam back or we were talking about the situation? Like, I mean, in that moment, I'm looking at that dude walk up and look to the door. I'm like, dude, like my foot wants to kick him out of the way. Like, just get out of there. Like, don't. I want you to go. I want you to go home, dude. I'm not. Like you can hate me all you want, but I'm trying to get you to go home.
Yeah. Or Honey Badger 640 in the chat says there's no mentorship happening, and it's a common theme at all departments right now.
Yeah.
I feel that. I get that. I empathize that. I know it's hard to be motivated to be a good cop right now, and I know that tactics and training have gone out the window, and we've taken the place with what pronouns to use and sexual harassment policies and all these other things that cops really don't have any issues with when they need to be training on serving arrest warrants.
Especially after identifying yourselves as police. Yeah. Hey, it's Columbus Police. Let me stick my face on the door. Like, yeah, dude,
Come on,
no. You don't need to keep hearing. Here's the thing. Assume someone's inside. How about we just do that? Assume someone's on the other side that wants to kill you. Then act accordingly. Position yourself accordingly.
Yeah.
You don't assume it's Mr. Rogers putting on his sweater on the inside, just waiting to answer the door a little bit more appropriately. Don't assume that.
Right.
Assume someone on the other side of that door that just punched his girlfriend and kicked her down a hill is interested in probably hurting you too when you want to take him to jail.
Yeah. If he punches his own mother, what do you think he'll fucking do to you? All right. Hit play. We're almost through it.
Apartment H, come to the door. Columbus Police.
Or you can go ahead and fast forward a little bit.
Leaving.
We've beat this dead horse enough. Go ahead and get it to like the 12 or 13 minute mark. So they get the suspects out, and they actually do a really great job here getting the suspects out of this house. They have them walk to them backwards.
They call them out.
They call them out. They put them in handcuffs.
We're going to send the dog in here in a second, so if he doesn't come out.
So there's someone else in the apartment. Cool.
I don't know.
Now, all right, so stop it.
You don't know if somebody's
Stop it.
We don't
So the
know if
one
somebody's
officer
in
goes, "Hey, is there anybody else inside the apartment?" And the guy's like, "Oh, well, I don't know." And the guy goes, "Great." So the other cop is frustrated because he was like, "This is bullshit." And he goes, "Yeah, okay, great. So there's somebody else in the apartment. We got it. Great, got it." Because if there was nobody else in the apartment, you would just say, "No, there's nobody else in the apartment." But suspects cannot not lie. These little hood gang member type guys, they cannot stop lying. They'll lie about anything all the time. So
way of life.
It's just a way of life for them. You know it, and it does frustrate you because right now what the cop is thinking, and I know exactly what he's thinking, so I don't mind saying this on his behalf. He's thinking, okay, this is a real serious situation now because you've came to the door, you've come out, we're not just walking away from this. Now there's another dude in the house, and we're all about to have to go in there and get this motherfucker, and we could kill him. So you need to tell us right now, if you care about homie, you need to tell us that he's in here and he needs to come outside, or this is going to escalate very quickly because you can see that none of these dudes are overtly warriors. Like none of these guys are like, dude, I want to go in here and I want to get this guy. They're kind of like, damn, we got to go get this guy. That sucks. And they do everything they can to get this guy to come outside. Now in the chats on the YouTubes and they blows up, they're like, and the news that a awakened and confused man. Okay, you tell me what you think. Maybe I'm wrong. Do you think it's reasonable that this could be a sleeping, awakened man that didn't know what's going on? Go ahead and play it from here on out.
He's in the apartment that you're in. He's gonna get bit by a dog. So if he's in there, tell
Columbus Police, if you're inside, make yourself known. Do it now.
I do not know who's in the apartment that you're in.
We're going to send the Canine in a second.
That's ridiculous. Take a seat right there.
Unless my man took a few Ambien, he knows exactly what's happening right now.
Oh yeah, he knows it's game over.
158 B to A. Try to get you back on B, boy.
It's not gonna bite you.
Oh, there is a dog there?
Yeah, they've got a dog coming up the stairs.
They're saying nobody. Columbus
Police Canine unit. If you're inside, you'll send out else in this dog.
Oh,
Chirping, huh?
fucking chirp.
Come on out.
They got the Malinois
Come out now.
doing Malinois things.
Those things are evil, dude.
And they release the dog. And so the dog is running around the house. and the dog's going to find a human being in a door.
Hands,
begin barking.
hands. Yeah, there's somebody back there.
They can hear him. They can hear him
That
moving
dog's gonna
around.
bite you if you
I
don't
heard
come
that.
out.
Now, pause it really quick. This is another kind of like a training moment that I don't think would happen with our canine handlers. And again, I know that this sounds like I'm Monday morning quarterbacking you, but how can you reasonably expect somebody to come out of their fucking door when there is a dog scratching around and barking at you? No, man. It's good. Like what you need to do in that scenario, once you heard that noise, because we have time is on our side. Like there's no rush to get this guy out. Probably call that dog back and say, hey, this dog's on the leash. Come out of that room. We know you're in there. If you don't, we're going to open that door and that dog's going to come in there and it's going to do work on you, homie. We're not leaving at this point. We're not leaving. So you need to come out of the door. The dog is on the leash. And I'm going to give you like 1 minute to hide whatever it is that you need to hide, flush whatever it is you need to flush. But you got 1 minute and I'm sending this fur missile in there to fuck you up. But they don't do that. They just let this dog. And I'm telling you right now, I ain't coming out. I'm not coming out. There's a fucking dog. And the cute little dog's like, Dad, I found him. Dad, look at me. I found him.
I'll move up.
Okay, I'm with you. I'm with you.
So we got
So they're going to move into the house.
He's got him. Door shut. Door shut.
Poor dog can't get a grip on his paws.
Here, I'm gonna lock him up. Here.
All right, so now the canine officer's going to lock the dog up.
You want to watch that? Or I'm worried that the back door.
No.
I mean, I trust that the dog is well trained,
send
but I'd be
that
checking the
dog
rest
in.
of that apartment.
I know, right?
While someone
Okay, here we go. So they open the door, and homie is not asleep. Homie is diving across the fucking bed. He's diving like what are the movies when they dive and they're like shooting at the same time, like in slow motion? You know what I mean?
A lot of movies. I don't
A
know.
lot of movies. You know what I'm talking about, though, right? You know the action scene where he's slow-mo and he's going over the table, Jason Bourne style. That's what this guy is doing over a bed. So, like, the fact that the media and everybody says that he's an awakened and stunned and startled man, nobody wakes up stunned and startled like that. Now, I wake up stunned and startled when my wife tries to wake me up for snoring, and I might punch or kick somebody, but I didn't wake up jumping across my bed. Like, this dude was not on the bed. This dude was probably, here's what I think. I think he was hiding under the bed, and that dog was barking, and this motherfucker was like, dude, that dog's about to bite me, and he's trying to get his ass out from underneath the bed and on top of the bed so he doesn't get bit as they open the door. Because when they open the door, all you see is this dude laid out sideways with something in his hand.
Boy! He's in here. I heard the door open.
He's in here. I heard this door open.
Here, I'm gonna lock him up and I'm gonna. Here.
So the suspect's probably trying to figure out, do I go under the bed? Do I hide in the closet? He's freaking the fuck out. He doesn't want to get bit, but he's also not turning himself in.
Definitely not asleep.
And he's definitely not asleep.
Good move. Check that door first. I like that.
Hands.
All right. And then that's the view from there, and that's his hand. And you can zoom in on it. That's as far as the video goes because it is get pretty graphic from there.
Yeah.
And we don't want to piss off YouTube. The officer shoots one round right then. But look how look where his hands are at. That is not somebody that's in submission. That doesn't, to me, I think it's a good shoot. Now, they're going to shoot him one time in the stomach. They're going to get him out, and he's going to die in about 5 minutes after this. And all he had in his hand was a black vape pen. But this is the picture, what you're seeing on the screen right now. And go ahead and like and subscribe to our YouTube. Right now, what you're seeing on the screen is a gentleman sitting on a bed in the manner that I have already explained to you, that he's jumping off of the bed and he's got something in his hands, and the officer's going to shoot him one time, and he's not going to be armed. So, unfortunately in this, the cops are going to be up for murder and the whole 9 yards. But this is the picture that the media shows, is this young man on a bed, which we could argue if it's a ghost bed or not. I don't know. I can't tell from that angle.
Probably not.
If that's a ghost bed, but technically
Maybe
It was a
that's why he
snowstorm.
didn't come out. He was so comfortable.
He was so comfortable. Right now, GhostBed is offering 40% off of mattresses and adjustable bases, 30% off of mattresses and 2 free pillows. Use that promo code Wolfpack. Get the adjustable base with 15 modes, 0 gravity, way less than our competitors. I know Ragers. I don't know. He's a fireman, paramedic guy that follows us. He's also an airsofter. He's also, I think, like an Eagle Scout. He's all-American. He's an all-American guy, and he just bought a GhostBed, and he used our promo code, but because of the Labor Day sale, that's still in effect, because it's in effect for the whole month, it's 50% off. So he just used us in the customer survey, and that works right as well. But it comes with the adjustable base, 15 modes, 0 gravity, way less than the competition, 0% down, 0% APR and financing. And that's if you have Lastro Lopez credit. Go to ghostbed.com/Wolfpack. Our favorite part about Wolfpack is, again, like most of the people that we advertise, they're made in the good old USA. They have bundles. You can bundle everything together. Look, you can get a pillow. You can get the sheets. It's got that cooling technology. So if you get hot in those Florida hurricane months, you can still stay cool. Stay cool while staying hard with Blue Chew and GhostBed. Using those promo codes Wolfpack. Hit us up on that customer survey if you're getting a better deal. But right now is the time to get a GhostBed or GhostBed products, because that's a hell of a sale. Yeah. I didn't think you could get any better than 40% off, but obviously you can. I don't know how these dudes make money, but we love GhostBed, and they have been a loyal sponsor with us since day uno. And even their shirts are so soft.
Samuel DeVore in the chat says that this was 100% an accidental discharge.
I
don't know. I don't know.
I don't know 100%. I mean, we could be
I don't think that
50%.
I watched that and go, oh, dude, that was a negligent or accidental discharge. I don't know that that's the case. I mean, you got a really quick second to decide, is the thing in his hand as he jumps across the bed coming at me?
Yeah. So here's the thing. I don't think you understand.
And you got to make a decision. And those decisions, those literal life and death decisions, are millisecond decisions.
Also,
that have all the full context behind them. I don't know that I could say that was accidental.
Samuel, I don't want to shit on you or anything like that, and I'm not. So please don't take this as me like shitting on you or arguing with you in any way, shape, or form. This is just me having a discussion with you. I think that when you have a suspect that is known to carry a gun and has a felony warrant for a firearm, okay, that is already gets your adrenaline going in a different place, which is why I question those other cops' behavior. Now, those other cops aren't the one that shot him. It's the Canine cop who is probably much more tactically sound than these other guys. So he was tactically ready for a fight. His mindset was, this guy's dangerous, and they haven't answered the door. We know he's in there. We can hear him. There's a dog barking, and he's still not giving up, and he's still not saying. No reasonable person. Now, you can serve 5, 10, 15 warrants a week. Now, I would say every shift I served 1 or 2 warrants. Every single shift in my career, I served at least 1 or 2 warrants almost every shift. So never once, or very rarely, maybe once every couple of years, does some shit like this go down. Most of the time, it's like, yo, you've got a warrant. And it's like they hide for a second. You do the knockings. You get the dog involved, and they give up. They're like, hey, I don't want to get bit. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? I don't want to get bit.
It would have been
he's not doing that.
A hindsight thing as a standard course of action. It seems to me that maybe the dog handler, the canine handler, would focus on the canine. And I'm not saying don't have your weapon at the ready or be ready to handle business, but maybe the other cop should have been the ones cracking the door and addressing that before. Because you're watching and controlling your dog, and you're trying to assess the threat for yourself as well. Like, I'm not sure that was.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder when that
advantageous thing. When
that canine officer walked up, I wonder, did he walk up and see Dum putting his face up to the window and the other Dum's radio chirping every 5 seconds, and he said, "You know what? This fucking shit show. I'm just gonna take charge of this." Because I would have been that guy. I've been like, these fucking idiots are gonna get killed. I'm just gonna go ahead and do this.
I think that's a fantastic observation, and it could very well be like, listen, I want to handle this. I want to be responsible for what's happening here because I trust myself and I trust my dog, you know?
Right.
Could be that for sure.
But when he opens that door, so now I want you to put yourself in his shoes, Samuel. You open a door knowing that there's a bad guy on their side. You know that that guy's not giving up, and you know what kind of warrants he has that are very violent warrants. And you open that door, and all of a sudden he jumps. This dude was jumping across that bed. He wasn't waking up startled. This dude jumps across that bed. I'm sorry. In my brain, that's not reasonable. That's not how this warrant is supposed to go down. I'm probably 95% in this guy's shoes. I'm shooting you. I'm like, shit, bam. Because that's not how bad guys that's not how good guys operate. You don't jump across the bed. If you're jumping across
the bed,
the
door's getting open. You should be, how should you be?
Butt fucking naked with your hands on your head.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, I'm in here. Don't bite me. I'm coming out, like open the door. My hands are up, like that's how you're going to be if you're a normal person, not attempting to get out of police custody.
Not diving across the bed like Jason fucking Bourne with a vaping pen in your hand. And that's another problem I have with vaping. It's vapors come into my place of business all the time, and it's okay. And they ask me if they can vape inside my establishment. And I am the kind of guy that I want to be the gray guy everywhere I go. I would never inconvenience anyone at their home or anything else with my stupid fucking vape pen or anything. If I have a vice, I'll go outside and do it until I'm invited to come inside and do it. So nobody wants to smell your peach cotton candy flavored vape shit inside of a building. And if vaping is not so addictive or whatever, then why can't you wait 30 seconds? Why can't you wait 20 minutes before you go outside? Why do you have to vape inside of an establishment? This asshole is so addicted to his vape pen that in the midst of getting bit by a police canine and going to fuck you in the ass prison for felony assaults, you're still holding on to your vape pen. Unbelievable. Yeah. Vaping kills. Don't vape. Smoke cigarettes like a real man. Nobody died because a cop thought they had cigarettes in their hand. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's probably not true.
Like Marlboro Reds, bam, 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 bam.
That's probably happening.
Bam, bam.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I think if anything, this is just internal cop to cop criticism. I don't think that this shooting is unjustified.
I don't think so. I don't think it's unjustified at all. But if you look at the public outcry, if you look at all the comments on the YouTubes, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of messages, tens of thousands of messages, all of them against the cops. And that poisons a jury. That poisons the judicial system. And the media doesn't help because nobody's breaking this thing down and saying, okay, like, why are you focused on their unprofessional behavior? That's not against the law. Being a dumb fucking tactical idiot does not make you a murderer. It doesn't even really necessarily make you a bad cop. I mean, that dude that stuck his face up to the window, you have no idea how many warnings maybe he's written, or you don't know how many kids he takes groceries on a weekly basis. You don't know if that dude participates in bicycle giveaways and fixing other. I mean, so many cops do so many. I mean, there are cops that run baseball leagues. And so their attitude is an attitude of service and not an attitude of being a warrior.
This is again where kind of full circling this is you want cops to be human beings until you don't like what they do. Then you want them to have been robots. Then you want them to, then you have to dehumanize them in order to justify your hot take on a situation you know nothing about. Most people criticizing this, and I think it's helpful for people to know this, most critics of situations like this, you just got to chalk it up to ignorance, man. They just don't even know. They don't know what they're looking at. They have no concept from start to finish of what just happened. They just think it's bad. This guy was in his bedroom sleeping and got shot for no reason. Like, nah, you're completely ignoring everything that led up to this. Why are the cops there in the first place? Like, you know, it just comes back down to personal responsibility. You don't want the cops coming to your house in the middle of the night while you're in your bed. Maybe don't punch your girlfriend that's pregnant and knock her down a hill and make her go to KFC and call the cops. You know, like maybe make some different decisions and no one's coming to you with a canine in the middle of the night. You know, when you hear the cops announce themselves so loud, everybody's waking up, like maybe just come out and take it like a man instead of being a coward and trying to hide when everyone knows that you're there. Like, I don't know.
Right. It's like, it's absolutely ridiculous. Back to Samuel. He says that he feels that it was a negligent discharge because of the way he holstered and immediately swore after the thing. I think he said like fuck or something like that.
Yeah, I
cursed
might swear
afterwards.
too after
But
I
you know, I don't know. And again, like you could be right, dude. You could be right. But I personally think that he shot that guy and was like, fuck, man. It didn't have to go down like this. This was you could have just came to the door. I could have let the canine bite your ass. Anything could have happened
times before this
fuck,
happened.
Man, this is fucking stupid. Like now I'm fucked. And that's what that cop's thinking. Probably, man, I'm fucked. I just shot a dude in 2022, which means I could go to jail now for 25 years if I fuck this up. Yeah. I don't think he knew at that time that wasn't a gun, because they go and search later and there isn't a gun, and there's some debate there between the guys about that situation. But that's, I mean, I tell everybody, I tell all my friends that are cops now, we have all these chats and all these meetups, and I get to talk to cops, you know, almost every single day. And I say like, look, man, like I don't know. You're between a rock and a hard place right now. And this cop, I think the cop did the right thing. I think it was a good shoot. I think you take that shot, because if you don't take that shot, that bullet is going somewhere. If that was a real gun, if he was wrong, and it could go through the apartment and hit another kid, it could hit one of the other officers, could hit that canine. I believe in my heart of hearts, it was a good shoot. I probably would have taken that shot as well. And it's unfortunate.
You have,
however,
second to decide. I mean,
if you want, if you really want to Monday morning quarterback it, once we know that he's in there, and once we've heard that noise, and I get it, you're short staffed, and that's the problem too. All these cops quit, so they don't have a SWAT team that can come in. And what they're trying to avoid is a 6-7 hour standoff. Not a standoff because the suspect won't come out. 7-hour standoff because you've got to go wake up your hostage negotiator. You got to go wake up your SWAT team, because they're not fucking working, because you're short staffed and you're understaffed, and you don't have enough for 3 full-time SWAT teams or 3 full-time hostage negotiators or whatever. So I'm sure that if they were fully staffed and the city was going to run itself, they probably would have backed off of that and said, let's just call this guy out. But it looks to me that they were like, dude, it's 2:00 in the morning. We know he's here. Unfortunately, somebody called and told us that he was here. We got to take care of this. We need to do it quickly. We need to get out of here and not tie the city up, because it's Columbus, Ohio, and it's a shithole.
Yeah. And that's the other thing to keep in mind is these guys didn't show up for that shift and say, hey, does anybody know a guy that might be in his apartment that we could go mess with that wouldn't want to come out? That's not what happened. Someone in the community that they serve in was a victim of assault and called to ask the police to help it stop. Like they didn't call themselves to this situation, right? They weren't all like, get their coffee, get their donuts, and be like, who can we go mess with that's probably sleeping in their bed, and get a dog to help us and then shoot them. That conversation never happened. But that's how it's portrayed, as though these guys are just amped up, ready to go kill someone in their bed. That's not what's happening. Like, that's not at all what they signed up for, right? They signed up to do what they did because they don't want that guy to keep hurting other people. That's the law, right? You got to take bad people away. And sometimes bad people who don't want to go to jail and who want to resist and obstruct the process, they get shot because they're the bad guy. Like we have sort of like lost that bearing as a culture, which is like bad guys should be taken out of society, and bad guys who resist should be met with force, and bad guys who resist the potential deadly force are going to be met with deadly force. And that's good for society, that bad guys are dealt with accordingly. This is a good thing. We've kind of lost that sort of like north facing compass here. Culture.
And what we also forget as well, or it's not that what we forget, it's what the media doesn't tell us. To find this dude's warrant, you have to dig for it. You have to go to a local news, a small news website where they have somebody that wants to be a journalist that actually went and disclosed why the cops were at the door. But they do it in a politically correct way. Mm-hmm. And they don't really explain how bad it is. They just say it's like allegedly assaulting his pregnant girlfriend, or like, but then you go and read the affidavit. The affidavit paints a much bigger picture. where this woman has to run to a KFC because she's scared for her baby. She wasn't scared when he punched her in the face days earlier. She didn't call the cops because she was like, "That's all right, I love him." And this is
Now,
the way.
if she and her child would have been killed by this guy, right? And the cops never showed up, or they were delayed in getting there, or whatever else, then the turnaround is that these cops don't care enough, to go help somebody who called. She called, and the cops are good for nothing. They don't prevent crime. They just prevented a future crime. I'll tell you that right now. He ain't gonna punch anybody else.
Right?
His mom's face is now safe.
Dude. Like, you punched your fucking mom after stealing from your mom. Get fucked, asshole. Like, like you should be shot for that. Like, if you punch your mother, go get serious help or take yourself out. I don't know. Like, I can't think of a reason to punch your mother or your girlfriend or your wife or anything. Don't do it. Like, don't punch a woman. I was a cop. I punched one woman as a cop, and that's because she was trying to get a gun out of her hair, and I open hand slapped him. It's debatable. People will say that I punched her. I did not punch her. I fucking hit her with the palm of my hand. I just hit her really fucking hard. I hit her really fucking hard, and the gun came out of her hair when I slapped her. But that's the only way I could get her to stop pulling a gun out of her hair, was to slap her as hard as I could. That's the only female. Now, I've tossed women around while trying to arrest them, but I've never just like squatted over them and saddled up and beat the brakes off of them. You don't hit women. Should be a thing. Don't hit women. Make that cool again. Make not hitting women cool again.
There you go. That's those words.
Unless it's Andrea plate, and then just kidding.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with us. Another breakdown in the books, and hopefully that helps you understand kind of like the mindset of cops. And again, if those guys see this or people hear it, like, hey, we're just talking to you like we would talk to each other. Like I've talked to trainees, like I've talked to whatever. I mean, like, the only way we improve as in the police world is to Monday morning quarterback each other. Like that's.
Yeah, and I'll still buy those dudes a beer.
You're Monday morning quarterbacking. Yep, absolutely.
I'll still go buy a beer.
100% doing it, because how else do we get better? How else do we explain things other than going back over it and saying we could do this better, we could do that better? It doesn't make it unjustified by no means. I mean, this was, to me, there's no question this is a good shoot. Legally, practically, ethically, morally, all of the words. But that doesn't mean that we can't improve. That doesn't mean that we could think differently about how would we approach the situation in the future again. So it's just, it's a little in-house encouragement.
Yeah, but I would go have a beer with them. And as I was just saying with Dead Leg Media says in the chats, yes, dude, I will have a beer with him, and I will, instead of playing like Edward 40 hands where you duct tape two 40-ounce beers and they can't go pee or anything until they finish both 40s, I would tape radio batteries to Homeboy's hands, and he wouldn't be able to do anything until the one that was chirping is actually fully charged. He'd just be standing there watching us like, everybody be like, why do you have batteries? Because I was too stupid to charge my battery. Then I was too fucking lazy. And then maybe I'm like,
extra
maybe I'm a piece of shit. And maybe he was actually in court all day. And now I feel like a real asshole.
Yeah.
He was probably in court for like all day.
Hey, listen, I will say this on the battery issue, and then we'll end the show. But that could be a department issue, right? That could be like, we got radios assigned to us like it was our radio, right? And then we were given one backup battery, and so we put them on the charger. So at the beginning of my shift, I had a fresh charge battery, and that's the one that I put on the belt. And then I had the extra battery that I would dump in my patrol bag. So while they stood there, they could have gone back to the car if they were provided extra batteries. But if the department doesn't do that and they're on a long shift and it ran out, well, it ran out. He could be going call to call to call, and the department may not provide enough batteries to go around. I don't know. So I'm not too crazy worried about that. Although I would say tactically, I'd be like, dude, like, we got to fix that. If the guy's inside, he's not going anywhere, surround the house. And I would say like, hey, we need another car to bring a battery. Like, once we get to that door and it's go time, we want to be ready. That's all I would say.
Yeah. And sorry, I didn't mean to type at you in all caps. It's hard for me to look at the camera.
I have a lot of messages to go through.
I have a lot of messages. Thanks for your email address for the pre-sale for my book. Thank you. No, I didn't mean to do that, but and I'm not too important for you peasants. because I'm probably more of a peasant than you are. But yes, no, I 100% agree with all that. It was a fun breakdown. Thank you, Mike the Cop. We have a hurricane that's approaching us in the next few hours. I can already hear the rain getting a little bit harder, and I'm waiting for this internet to just crash. But should be a good weekend. Go back, and we got some new YouTube videos coming out where we break down the what case did I break down yesterday? I just did a YouTube video yesterday. What did I do it on?
Don't know.
I can't even remember what I did that YouTube video on yesterday, but it's going to be a good one.
Super.
It's going to be a damn good one. Oh, it's the cops that left the woman in the back of their patrol car.
Oh yeah, she got
smoked
smoked by a train. Yeah.
Yes, very crazy. So I do to break down that video should come out hopefully over the weekend. Go and support our sponsors. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Leave those reviews. Hit the like and subscribe button. I love Lap.